Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here. We're taking a trip from Kalos to Hoenn and we're bringing Goodra with us. Goodra doesn't get the most insane Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire move tutors that it can use, and most of them are going to be physical things, and while we do have a physical set for Goodra, it's not something that you can really rely on. That, for one, Goodra's special attack is higher, and two, most of the moves are going to be like Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, punch moves that have lower base power than their special counterparts, while Goodra's already rocking a lower attack, so it's not too much to outright make note of, but it can still be used. Also, it does get access to Iron Tail, but the less accuracy, and Sludge Wave is still going to hit super on fairies, so I mean, not the most insane. But right now, what we have is like the base example of what a Goodra set is supposed to be, and it's going to be Assault Vest and Shenanigans that you can just fully invest in the hit points, or like, we'll talk about this strange number right here in a bit. You can just invest in the hit points, go into the special attack, go modest, and then run Assault Vest. That way, any Pokemon that's using special attacks is most likely going to deal less damage than you do to it, and you have the ridiculous coverage to just kind of revenge on anything. They bring Goodra against a special attacker, they're going to have to switch out, and if you get the prediction, that's awesome, since you have the moveset for it, and if they stay in, you're just going to out-damage them because of the Assault Vest. Now, the 20 points in speed here, it's mostly for base 50 speed Pokemon that are running full speed investment. I know not every Azumarill runs speed, not even the majority probably do, but when you still break it down, 252, that's going to be 102 speed, and then that's going to be 103 speed, so just guarantees you're going to outspeed Pokemon like Azumarill, you're going to land that Sludge Wave, and you're going to get a KO from it. So, cool stuff right there, but if it's not the biggest thing, you can just kind of get that extra on the hit points, even though I feel like the couple points in bulk, 2 hit points to maybe get some potential outspeeds. Yeah, I think it's worth it just to run the 20 speed anyway. Now, you might see Draco Meteor here. You can have Draco Meteor, that way if you somehow don't hit something for super effective, you have a really amazing neutral hit, or you can just go with the Dragon Pulse. Dragon Pulse is going to just, give that stab, make it to where you have something reliable. And the crazy thing is Goodra has amazing coverage. You might notice Blizzard down here. Well, yes, it does also get access to Ice Beam. So, I mean, you have your answer to pretty much everything that if you don't even care about Dragon Pulse, it's not even needed because Ice Beam is going to hit super on dragons, and it's also going to have that 4 times coverage and other options for you to use as well. And then just craziness from here. And this is like the main Goodra set. This is pretty much like you invest hard in the hit points. Sometimes there might be debate, if you run modest or if you just want to go with a calm nature and be even harder to hit on a special defense side. Maybe invest a little into defense, that way you don't get outright blown up. But overall, it's take a hit, deal a harder hit back, and keep running around until you go down, and Goodra gets a lot of work done with this. Now, other Goodra sets aren't really as common, and they're really hard to pinpoint. Goodra has a ton of base stats. I mean, 90, 100, 70, 110, 150, 80. It took out of the speed just a bit, and now it has absurd tankiness, great hit points, a lot of offensive potential, and from there, you just start making up weird sets, and it can kind of work. That Goodra gets access to Curse. So when you use Curse, now you just kind of set up 1 or 2 Curse, use Rest, Chest of Berry procs, and then you just start going for coverage from there. That you can invest into your defense, go with that Careful Nature, get some good special defense, max out the hit points, and you're going to be very, very tough to kill. 384 hit points, 400 defense, 400 special defense, and then you're throwing out roughly, close to 500 attack moves, Earthquake, Thunder Punch, and the silly thing about Goodra is that, it doesn't get Dragon Claw, it just has Dragon Tail as like the only physical dragon option that it can use, so not the greatest for that, which is why I just have Earthquake. That between Earthquake and Thunder Punch, there are some things that will escape you, but for the most part, if it's a flying type Pokemon, it's going to be able to get Thunder Punched, and then you can just look for coverage, try to hit reliably, and if you get into a position where you can rest, wake up, get a hit, rest, do things like that, this does have a lot of hard setup potential, and even to a degree, we saw Dragon Tail. You made Dragon Tail work with Curse with that Rest Sleep Talk combo, and that's kind of how it is. Also, Sleep Talk, well, not Rest, but Sleep Talk. Now, Rest Sleep Talk isn't going to work with Hydration, but if you do have the Cursed Rest, I recommend Hydration over Sap Sipper if you're running like the offensive moves again, like Earthquake and things like that, because with that, if your opponent somehow uses Rain, it just gives you that chance that you won't be able to rest, or you'll rest and then you'll wake up at the end of the turn, and now you're pretty much healed and cool things happen from that. Looking at Goodra's other abilities, there is a lot of debate. That Sap Sipper, it can be a really cool outplay kind of thing, like you switch in with Sap Sipper, and it can synergize with the set because, you get the Sap Sipper, and now, Curse is going to come in, so now you're getting all these boosted attacks, and that's cool, but dragons resist grass, and that's kind of it. So it's not like you're saving a huge amount of damage. You're just going for that outplay potential. It does work really well in doubles as well. For the most part, there's that. And then Gooey, if you're not running the curse set, like, I could see Gooey working on this as well. Like, they hit you with contact, and then you outspeed them. Because if you're running those couple of extra points into speed, you know, you might find that outspeed on a Pokemon, and then cool things happen. But it can't be a really fast Pokemon unless they hit you twice. And if you survive 2 moves that make contact, just you start getting into weird areas, but it can potentially catch up with your opponent, and then you can make some plays from there. Looking at some other things, Toxic Infestation, I feel is a really cool combo. They set up Infestation, they're trapped, you throw out the Toxic, and then they get knocked out before they can leave from the Infestation. Rest and Sleep Talk on this with huge defense and hit point investment with that Calm Nature. That way, now you're just tanky. You're really tanky and your opponent can't do much with it. Binding Band is going to give you more infestation, so if they have like leftovers or something, you're chewing through more damage on that. Or I can even see a Keyberry. We don't see Keyberry very often, but if the opponent hits you with a physical attack, erases your defense by 1, that's just going to be excellent, because now that's going to push your defense to be on par with your special defense, and now you're just tankier, and you rest it away, and then you Sleep Talk Toxic Infestation, and then you hurt your opponent, and cool things happen from there. One interesting combo I was thinking is, you know, Klefki. You can set up a Reflect. Goodra has huge special defense, so now it becomes hard to knock out. You Choice Scarf Sludge Wave, and you just try to hit opponents. Fun little gimmicky set. And then when we look at some other Goodra ideas, Goodra, if we can get this going, Goodra has excellent synergy in Rain, that if you're running singles or doubles Rain team, Thunder. It gets access to Thunder, because why not? So, I mean, Thunder is going to be damage. Muddy Water, while it doesn't get Surf, it gets Muddy Water. Lower accuracy, but if you're running in Rain, it's going to boost the damage of Muddy Water, which is really nice. And then you can run Rest. Rest is going to make it to where you know hydration. Status is cured at the end of the turn if Rain Dance is active. You sleep, and then you wake up at the end of the turn, and then you throw out moves. So it's like a free full hit points. You can just kind of do whatever. You can't run Assault Vest on this because it doesn't work with Rest. But you just have a lot of options, and then you can kind of run in these weird ways. You know, you can go with that modest or hit point investment. You can maybe try to patch in your defenses a bit, and just since you have high base damage moves, you don't invest as hard into your special attack. And then since it could be in doubles, you can also look for that support potential. I like Citrus Berry as an idea. That way, at least before you have to rest, you get a little extra health, you get a little extra security, and it can just kind of play it through really well. And that's kind of all there is to it. So Goodra, main set, and then weird sets where it tries to find its identity, and sometimes these can shine. Like, this has been very powerful for me in the past. I haven't tried this one out, but I mean, well, you know, with Thunder Punch. I haven't tried this one out, but I feel like it does have some good potential if you can set up and a lot of your opponents, like, heavy sweepers are down. They can't really do much in retaliation. This just popped in my head as something silly since Sledge Wave hits everything, and Klefki's a steel type that can set up a Reflect for you. Just silly stuff, and Goodra has a lot of fun with it. So if you guys enjoyed the video, it's how you use Goodra in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and I hope you all have a nice day.